Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I have the pleasure to be joined by my good friend Josh Fan of ShowMeFootball.com. And in this video, we are going to talk about the Chiefs' offensive line and specifically the battle at left tackle. We just got an update from head coach Andy Reid that Josh Simmons, the Chiefs' first-round draft pick, is going to be a full go at training camp, which is fantastic news. He's still coming back from that torn patellar tendon, and so the fact that he's already ahead of schedule in his recovery is a very great thing. But Josh, I think that we've kind of lost in this entire debate. What are the Chiefs going to do with Jalen Moore? The Chiefs brought him in this offseason, presumably to be their starting left tackle. They're giving him $15 million a season, and it seems like they're going to go with someone else in training camp. And, training camp doesn't mean everything, but I think if Josh Simmons is healthy and gets through training camp, he's probably going to be your day one starting left tackle. So I do want to hear from you. What do you think about the Jalen Moore situation?
I've held firm on my belief that Jalen Moore will still be the starter at left tackle. And you know what? Even if I have to end up waving the white flag on Josh Simmons come week one, or on Jalen Moore, I should say, that Josh Simmons is the starter, I still think we see Jalen Moore as the starting left tackle at some point, because I just think, again, the starting of a rookie left tackle and the injury, I just think there's going to be a rough patch, and the second you see Mahomes go down because of something Josh Simmons did, people are going to say, can we see Jalen Moore instead? That's just what I think is going to happen. And that's not to say that Josh Simmons won't be a good player, that he'll never be the left tackle, obviously. But I think the Chiefs have set themselves up nicely, that they have a solid veteran left tackle that they signed this offseason in free agency. You put him out there so that your rookie can learn behind him. I think that's exactly how this needs to go. And then when Josh Simmons is ready, you can put him out there. But do not make the same mistake you did with Kingsley, where you throw him out there too early, you ruin his confidence, and he just kind of falls into the abyss of Chiefs' recent, tackle draft picks over the past few years. But I think, Josh Simmons might be the guy they want to see first at training camp, but that's not necessarily to say that he's going to be the starter. Jalen Moore's going to get plenty of reps. We also have to play the preseason games, and I think that's going to tell us a lot as well.
Hopefully it tells us something, because even Andy Reid last year didn't really give Kingsley a lot of preseason snaps. And so if Josh Simmons is going to be your starting left tackle, they better give him some actual live game reps at the position. But, Josh, I'm in agreement. I think that Jalen Moore should be the starting left tackle week one. Even if he doesn't have the high upside that Simmons does have, you brought him in for a reason. He's got that veteran experience. He backed up the best left tackle in football in Trent Williams. And the hope is that he is going to give you something. Now, I kind of want to talk a little bit about, where they might put Jalen Moore if they don't end up putting him at left tackle, because we've kind of already given the left guard spot to Kingsley Suamataia, but what has he earned? What has he actually, shown at guard? Very little. And so maybe the Chiefs, as a backup plan, could throw Jalen Moore at left guard.
Well, it's a possibility, and that's why it's nice to have depth in case, Kingsley doesn't work out. But the thing is, I can make the same argument for Jalen Moore as what have we seen from him at left guard. He's never played guard. He was a tackle in college. He's a tackle in the NFL. We don't know what he is at guard either. And just because he's a good tackle doesn't mean he's a good guard.
But what about the investment? Because that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, totally. But there's also a high investment in Kingsley. So really, again, you could just make the same argument for either. As far as dollars being spent, though, Jalen Moore's obviously making a lot of money. But I do think there's still that chance that he could be the right tackle after Jawan Taylor. I think Wanya Morris will also be in competition there. There's a lot of different scenarios. But again, I think that's why it's a good thing to build depth on this offensive line, so that if you have an injury, you have someone go down. You have capable guys waiting in the wings. But as far as Jalen Moore being paid and all that stuff, that's another reason why I think he's going to get a crack at being the starter. And even if he's not the week one starter, I just still think we see him at some point.
Yeah, injuries happen to the offensive line all the time, and so I think also given the Chiefs' left tackle depth last year and having, 4 different left tackles start at some point last year, it's probably safe to say that both are going to get some run. And who knows, maybe the Chiefs try both at left tackle during the season. I mean, I don't think that's great for Simmons' confidence, but the Chiefs need to find a solution to that problem. It has been the biggest issue plaguing this Chiefs team for the past 3 seasons. And, I mean, really, going back to that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. So I feel like, the Chiefs did a good thing by giving, a backup plan at left tackle. But it's like that was a backup plan that is pretty pricey, pretty expensive. And I feel like the Chiefs might want to try to find some return on that investment. But you also make a good point that they've got a lot invested in Kingsley, too. So, really, the guy that's the odd man out is Mike Caliendo. Like, he's the one that's really screwed.
Yeah, but he also, I don't think, was ever meant to be the starter at either of those positions. It just happened because of injury and things not working out the way they should have.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And so, guys, I want to hear from you guys in the comments section below. What do you think of Josh Simmons being a full go going into training camp? Andy Reid and this coaching staff has spoken very highly of him, and I think that is something that we should absolutely, take into account, because they also spoke very highly of Kingsley last year. And look how that worked out. But Kingsley was also the starting left tackle to begin the season. So there is a lot to digest there. And we'll watch this battle closer in training camp because so many things could change. But Josh, I think that's really all the time we have in this video. My final question for you is, where can the people find your stuff?
You can find me here on YouTube, channel name Show Me Football. Check out my work on showmefootball.com. And last but not least, follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB.
And guys, all that stuff will be linked in the description of this video. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily Chiefs content. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching. And as always, go Chiefs.